Hemp Hooray, everybody. Can you hear me, Tommy?
Howdy.
Hey, there you are. So Larry's our guest of honor today besides everybody. So Hemp Hooray, load it up, get a bowl of hemp ice cream, and here we go.
Okay, now look at me. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, look at me. Yeah, look at me. Look at the camera. Yeah.
I'm your host, Jeff Eichen, human rights advocate and social activist fighting for government deregulation of weed and the release of all nonviolent criminals incarcerated for possession of marijuana, moving violations, parking tickets, IRS debt, etc. Here on Weeds Day, we keep the public informed about all things weed related, including festivals and legislation surrounding regulating the growth of hemp. Good morning, ladies and germs. It's Jeff Eichen, and I hope you're not all germied, but that your seeds are germinating, and it is time to plant. We have a great lineup today. We're talking about a hemp party that's going to be happening soon so we can re-legalize hemp marijuana, and our guests today are going to be experts and share with you some magic about what's going to happen this coming week, or the end of the month on the 31st. We have Larry Serban, we have Dan Hare, we have Vivian McPeak, we have Chris Conrad, and more, Ron Alcalay, and more. So hemp hooray. We need to address cannabis with athletes, and we have an event coming up in March of this coming year that's going to be athletes in cannabis. So I may go there to that show, and we're working on ending prohibition, everybody, and re-legalizing hemp in a major way. And with our guest, Larry Serban, today, he's going to share with you the reasonings. I'm going to show you a hemp stock. We're going to learn many things on why nobody should be in jail for a plant. We're so excited to have our guest panel today and to be incredibly gifted with holding space and holding tight and doing our work. So when we're not here, the people behind us, we're going to teach everybody to carry on our mission and our words of wisdom and our goodness, that hemp is a beautiful plant, that God put it here. And I don't know if it's in the Bible, but if it is, give me that that verse, because I think Willie found it. But Willie, come on my show with Tommy. And are you here, Tommy? So we love you all, everybody. Hemp hooray. And don't forget to stay hydrated in your life with water, with good food, and good thoughts to free our prisoners. Jeff Eichen, Hemp hooray. Hey, that's our classic Hemp Can Save the Planet. We did that like 30 years ago with Chris Boucher, and we're in Hollywood Squares. Look at all of Tommy's guitars. Yeah, now. Looking good. We should have you play one day, Tommy, for us.
It'll cost you, but sure.
Hey, have you written a hemp song? Because this is Hemp Day. Not marijuana, but hemp.
Well, you know what? I wish you guys would quit calling it marijuana, because that's the term that Hearst put on the public. It's a derogatory Spanish or Mexican slang for cannabis. So I suggest that we correct ourselves and always use the word cannabis. Because what happens now is that whenever it's illegal, it's marijuana. Whenever they put someone in jail, it's marijuana. Whenever they find a legal crop, it's marijuana. But when it's okayed by the doctors, it's cannabis. So let's let's keep it what it is. It's cannabis. Marijuana is just a slang like pot or weed or reefer. So that's one of my wishes that we would do, because we have to start treating this plant like what it is, and not refer to it in its what the liars put out on it. Okay.
I appreciate that. So we're gonna all pinky up here and do pinky pulls. And when we were kids, we would all pull our pinkies. And it's now cannabis. Tommy has spoken. Everybody, welcome Tommy, welcome Larry, welcome Chris, and welcome Vivian. I know we all know each other, but you can introduce yourselves again.
Can I just jump in on what Tommy was just saying? Because I've always treated it like that, too, since I first got involved in the late 80s. I said, well, marijuana prohibition, marijuana laws, when you talk about the drug war, you use the word marijuana, but when you talk about the plant, we talk about it as cannabis hemp. We were down in Mexico for a legalization conference down there in 2019. And actually, so I think I made some comments to that effect. And a lot of people there said they feel really differently about it. They feel like marijuana is a beautiful word, that it's, it's part of their culture, and that it reflects the feminine side of the plant. So just letting you know, Tommy, when I went down to Mexico, I applied your philosophy there. I got pushback on it that people said, wait a minute, marijuana.
Marijuana. Absolutely. But it's still, marijuana is still the plant that drug cartels are killing people over. We got to change it. It's like the word nigger. That used to be a common word everywhere. But it's not applicable anymore. And
I think
rightly so.
I think what Tommy is getting to, everybody, is when we go to the Supreme Court, let's get our P's and Q's ready. Let's get our P's and Q's ready. And I think the formalizing it is a good way for us, if we're just in a little club here, that's, 1% or 0.5% of the population. I think that's a great lead, Tommy.
Yeah. And staying up again on that. What you said, Tommy, is that, when I read back in Mark Twain and so forth, you hit the N-word a lot. And so I know people are saying that, to get rid of those books. But to me, it's like that's part of what he's talking about, is that, he doesn't use it as a way of saying this is a great word. He's saying this is the way people treat each other and talk, and we need to address that. So,
it's of the times, like even my act with Cheech. There's a lot of characters that we can't do anymore. I can't do anymore because of the awareness. And I totally understand. Like, for instance, we're doing a show in Reno, Nevada, and Herbie Hancock, the great jazz pianist, was going to be on the show next week, and so he came and caught our show. And he was the one that really brought my attention to what we were doing. I was doing a character called Blind Melon Chidlin, which was a takeoff on the old black blues.
Go downtown, see my gal, but you can't fit that on the album cover.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Herbie Hancock gave me a sort of a mixed compliment. He said, man, when I start playing the guitar, he says, man, like you're into it. You got it. He says, and then you go into that other shit, and at first, I kind of, I understand, it's a bit we've been doing for 50 years, but it's true, even though my heart's in the right position, and I was married to a black lady. I have 2 black kids. I don't have any right to go into that area of making fun of descendants of slaves that were treated so badly and were taken for granted. Even to this day, are still, the black people of this nation are still taken for granted and treated terribly, as we saw, last year. So it's out of love that I'm changing my attitude and growing up, and finding other things to find humor in, other than the problems of the people that have been treated badly for so many years.
I think our legacy. I think our legacy is to steward the end of prohibition, and any way we can cloak ourselves with the public and with the change of of society, with the way that people are still doing the hate party and all that kind of stuff is a good way to go. And if we agree in a small circle of elders here, then we can share with the rest of our people how we should walk, so we can get the job done, because we have to end prohibition. Get our
of course, it sounds like you become an elder somewhere along the line.
Well, I've got
was always a young guy in the group when I was becoming an activist.
I've got a hemp stock here, and we've got Larry Serbin here. Larry wants to say hi to Tommy and to Vivian and to Chris. And Larry, this show is dedicated to Larry's project today, and it's so beautiful that Larry is longtime activist and hemp fabric dude, because I made these hemp suits with the stash pocket right here in Vietnam, and we can make one for you, but we have to have the fabric. And why not make the fabric in America? And Larry, why don't you introduce yourself to Tommy and to the rest of us, and tell us about your project coming up.
All right. Well, thank you for having me on. My name is Lawrence Serbin, and I've actually been in the industrial hemp industry since 1990, and that was actually the year I met Chris Conrad. And Chris is actually my mentor going way back then, and fully dedicated myself to promoting and making the whole industrial hemp industry happen, as kind of described by Jack Herrera. And in 31 years that I've been involved in hemp, this is the first year I've ever been able to grow industrial hemp. And I will tell you, gentlemen, all of our dreams for industrial hemp are about to come true. The field I'm growing right now is specifically industrial hemp. I have plants there. They have now reached 20 feet tall. These things are amazing and massive. And it's almost like an entire forest. And we'll be able to duplicate that every year. We'll be able to provide all of the wood, or I would say all of the raw material for wood and building products, as well. We'll be able to have hemp cheaper than cotton at this point.
Well, I know cotton is one of the dirtiest industries on the planet, and that is due to the dyeing and the chemicals they use to protect it from bugs and crap. And the marijuana plant, correct me if I'm wrong, is like benign to animals and boll weevils because of its nature, and it grows cleaner, it helps the soil, and it is the perfect plant.
Yeah, well, what we found this year, we're keeping a really tight, I shouldn't say control, but we're watching things very closely. What we found so far is that we have not had to use any pesticides or herbicides on the plants that grow perfectly well, and they completely outcompete all the weeds. So out of everything we were told about it.
And what about...
It does grow incredibly fast.
What about you said that you're in the Guinness Book of World Records?
Yeah, I actually called the Guinness Book of World Records and went online and found out that there's actually no actual record for the tallest hemp plant. So I applied for that record and they accepted my application. And right now, I had heard in general that they would get maybe 14, 18 feet tall at the max. And we've already measured ours at over 20. So I think we're going to be able to hit the Guinness Book of World Records.
I have a cartoon that I shared with Tommy once. I want him to be Mr. Miyagi and the superhero that sends the hemp to the old people's homes through children in his sensei dome, kind of like Yoda or Mr. Miyagi, and he sends out people. But maybe we could have Jack in the hemp stock.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So Lawrence, one of the things, as a marijuana grower, I know we do have pest problems. I think Vivi can testify to this too. We get hit with a lot of pest problems. The one I have a lot of trouble with personally are the cabbage moths, larvae. And so the thing that I've always heard in regard to hemp, though, is that that's not a problem for hemp, because whereas for me it's eating my flowers that I want, in the hemp field, it's not eating the stalk. Is that pretty much what you're finding at this point?
Exactly. We will be harvesting in about 2 weeks, and we are harvesting prior to the formation of any flowers whatsoever, where it's entirely in vegetative state, and we're just going for the stalk. So we have no problems in regards to diseases or pests in the flowers. And then on the other hand, when I walk through the field, the place is full of insects. I mean, there's bees, wasps, caterpillars, ants, everything out there. And you'll see, occasionally a little leaf might get eaten or might be a little bit yellow, but overall the field is completely healthy. No problem at all.
And Larry, tell us about
scene in Anna Karenina, where in Tolstoy's book, Anna Karenina, at the end, where one of the people goes out hunting, and they say, "Where's the best place to hunt?" And they say, "Over behind the hemp field." So he walks over there, and he sees bees flying past him, and it's a beautiful scene in the book.
Yeah, you can definitely hide inside. You completely get lost.
Larry, tell us about the 31st and your invitation to all of us on this panel.
All right. Well, certainly, it's a private event, but on the 31st, we're having a field day on the farm. It's in Lemoore, California, and we'll be inviting people there in the morning. Free reign. You'll be able to walk all around the field, walk through the field, pick a plant, pick leaves. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Then afterwards, we'll be moving to our factory that we opened up, which is a former cotton gin, and we're converting that over to process the hemp fiber. So we'll have a tour also of that hemp processing facility and what we're doing.
And your media will include Weed Wednesdays, Jeffrey Eichen, me.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We've invited a bunch of media, you and other people. We want to promote it and basically let people know exactly that the potential for hemp is very real, and it's about ready to happen. We're going to be able to, I'm just talking, I work with textiles. I just sent samples of the fiber to my textile guy in China. He's the number one hemp textile guy in the world. He looked at it, and his word to me was, "This is amazing. This looks great. He can't wait to start using that." And we got people here who want to use it, the fibers for industrial purposes.
There's a 35-year-old hat with Larry's fabric, 35 years old from Chris Boucher, and there's one that I made in Vietnam just last year. So it's beautiful, everybody. I'm so proud of you. And my dreams and Jack's dreams. We were supposed to have Dan on today. Dan is lost in cyberspace, Dan Herrer, and he's like Jack Terror. We love emperors. If we could do the movie The Emperors Wear No Clothes, let's get started and tell the whole story and have it end up with hempcrete. Here's a hempcrete ball, everybody. The R value is beautiful. We can build homes with it now. And let's stop cutting trees down global. This is going global, our show today. And we will have it for all of you to share with your people. And even Chris became black and white. We love you in black and white. Oh, that was good, Chris. And trip us out. But yes, we're so proud of you, Larry. And you wanted to ask Tommy a question.
No, I don't have any question for Tommy.
Well, but you wanted to
Is it going to be there? How about that? Tommy,
you're certainly welcome to come. You're invited if you want to be there and see the hemp fields for yourself. And you're also, people want to smoke in the hemp fields. That's perfectly okay too.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll come.
Oh, awesome! Very good.
You know what I want to do? I want to rebuild my house in Vancouver out of hemp products.
Absolutely.
And what I want to do is I'm going to film it, make a movie of it, sell it so I can have it paid for as well. But I need to gather all the hemp material I can find, to build the house, because it's going to be at least a 2-story, very modern art gallery house more than anything. But I'd love to have it built out of hemp. In fact, I'd like to have everything from now on built out of hemp. It just makes more sense.
Dirty cotton.
Do you guys know about ethanol?
In what sense?
Well, I always thought it was just for gas, for power, but apparently it's not. Did you know the other uses for ethanol?
A lot. They use it, as a
drinking out,
reactions, drinking.
It's a solvent.
No, it's a food additive. Because the stalks in the corn have all the nutrients, all the vitamins, all the nutrients. And so they use it, ethanol, they call it ethanol, and they use it as a food supplement it's in a lot of foods, in other words. And it's not. And now I asked them about hemp, and they said that they found that the fibers were too dense. But I would imagine that the hemp plant has as much nutrients and vitamins and good things as the corn stalk. I wouldn't see why it wouldn't, and probably even more. So do you know if anybody's working on that angle?
Well, I do know. If you're talking about like hemp is a food, I do know there's a few companies now that are harvesting the hemp leaves and kind of keeping it fresh and serving it like in a salad, to eat it that way. And then, of course, there's certainly hemp seed and all the food products that come from that.
For the animal feed, right?
Well, you can use the hemp seed for animal feed, and we're almost there. That there was more of a hurdle getting it into animal feed than getting it into human feed, but they're starting to get over them. You have to prove that it's safe.
Yeah, of course. You see that old mindset where they think marijuana was poison to begin with.
Most of the hemp seed comes from Canada now. We need to grow it in America and open up new jobs.
Oh, yeah. Take a look here. This is one of the varieties. I don't know if you can see it, but if I can hold it up here. But these are the largest hemp seeds on the market. These are about the size of peas.
Whoa, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Yeah. So Yuma varieties. So these will be excellent for making hemp nut or other food products.
Well, I had
8 times the size.
I had a hemp chef on last week or 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about the hemp pesto I made. It just took the leaves and do olive oil and lime juice and whatever flavors you want and make a pesto. And it's mellow and it's not THC bound, and the ladies love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I had a quick question for you, Tommy. Do you still have any of those? I had a question for you. Do you still have any of those cigarette papers that Chief and Chong Big Bamboo album? I think you can make money marketing those.
They were never made to be smoked. Those papers. It was just strictly art project, but no, I got a ton of real good cigarette papers. No, that one in the album. It's so funny because all over the world, people have used it, and they're very proud. They think they're the only ones that ever rolled a whole like 2.5 pounds of weed or whatever it was that it took.
Have you heard of the Canagar industry? The Canagar industry, it's beautiful. They have these leaves that are beautiful. Some are even embedded with gold leaf, and you can put a mixture in there, like a blend, and make a Canagar. It takes like a half an ounce, but you can smoke it for days.
Oh, nice.
And it's
nice.
beautiful. It's a whole industry, and they have little tampers, and they have little machines that are made out of bamboo, and I'm ready to do the Canagar magazine, and
I'd like to see that. I've never heard of that.
I'll share that with you, Tommy, for sure.
Yeah, we've been approached by people that want to take our hemp leaves and use them for, like a cigar wrapper.
Well,
nice.
that industry, Larry, is popping up, and it's going to blow up, the Canagar industry. I went to Portland to the second annual Canagar off, and it was the awards, and they were rolling these huge, I don't want to leave the space here, but I have Canagar wrappers in the living room, and it's a fantastic industry. But what I found interesting is that if you have a Canagar leaf roll, and it's in a little holder, and you're going to start to make your Canagar, you can do a blend and then really start to get these blends that are your favorite, and realize what you did with that blend of this, of that, and this for nighttime, for daytime, or for creative time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That sounds great.
Another question I had for you, Lawrence, though, is that one of the issues around here that we're hearing in Northern California and down in Imperial Valley and so forth, they're saying about marijuana grows using all this water. Well, first off, my research on marijuana grows is that they are actually about 33 times more water conservative than growing almonds. If you're on a per serving basis. So and that's assuming you smoke like a few grams at a time. If you go to 1 gram or a half a gram, it's even different.
That's a fallacy. Almonds are the most water used plant on the planet, and they need to change that one and forget marijuana.
But that's not all. We're talking about growing for marijuana, but what you're doing, Lawrence, growing for hemp. What are you seeing in terms of water consumption there?
All right. Well, it certainly requires water. We have to water, every couple of days, but we are using a drip system on our field. So we're able to, lower the water just about as much as you can. We aren't keeping tabs, and where we grow the hemp, they also grow a lot of cotton, hemp cotton. So we are able to do the comparison. It looks like I won't have the actual numbers until the end of the field, but we are tabulating it. It looks like hemp is either a little bit or about a third below the amount of water that you need for cotton, but I'll have exact figures in a few weeks around the time we harvest.
We're looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Yeah. Tommy, how's life in the Palisades? Did the fires breeze through? What happened?
No, we're not zoned for fires here, actually. This neighborhood is so rich. Almost every house has their own fire department. So
the Canna Angels are protecting your houses there.
No, the rich Trumpies around me are protecting my house. Because I don't have to spend anything. I just have to be next to the guy that has all the protection. No, actually, the Palisades, the weather here has been phenomenal. It's been beautiful. And I got a couple of plants growing on my roof that I didn't intend to have growing, but somehow the seeds got up there and they're growing. This plant will grow.
Well, I wanted to share with you all my grow. This is my grow.
Nice. Whoa.
Great.
And those are little babies, Larry, but they're seeds from Hawaii. And it's Elliott Special, and it's a Big Island Miscellaneous. And my friend Elliott, who got a stroke, he's now driving and talking again, and he's about 74 and living with my friend Carol. And they sent me some of the Elliott seeds, so those are all Elliott seeds.
They look like indica, are they?
Yes.
Yeah, the big fat leaves. Oh, they're beautiful.
Yeah, so that's my goodness.
That would make the good salad leaves, huh, Jeff?
Oh yeah, for the pesto. Well,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a hemp cookbook one of these days, Tommy. We could have you in on.
I got one here. Someone sent me one. I'll have to find it. Yeah, it's how to cook with cannabis. Yeah,
So Tommy, I have another question for you. Like,
sure.
just because sometimes when I go online, I get this little pop up ad that says Tommy Chong says don't take CBD. I was wondering, is that just for shock value, or are you connected to CBD, or because I don't tend to click on things like that, or is that just somebody taking your name and doing something with it, or taking a picture? I mean, and
wait, let's have a drum roll for Tommy's CBD products. Here we go.
No, I've been selling CBD for a while now, and we're in Walmart. We're in all sorts of places. And you're right; it's the shock value thing. It gets you to check it out. But no, we sell CBD for daytime called Good Vibes. And it comes in a tincture is that what you call it? And then we have one for nighttime, which is called Nice Dreams. And they're selling like crazy. It's all CBD. And people get hooked on it, man. But you know what I'm selling that are really going well are the Tommy Chong strips, like your breath strips, the little things that melt in your mouth. Yeah, and they're all THC. And all my straight friends that don't like to smoke, they're addicted to them. It cracks me up because they're.
You mean you can take a strip on the airplane, right?
Oh, anywhere. You can.
How many milligrams are they? 5 or 10 milligrams?
Those are very convenient.
Oh, and they're so well, and they don't give you that hangover that sometimes you get when you smoke too much, like I've been getting lately. I've been smoking quite a bit, because I do cameos and everybody wants to smoke with me, and I hate to disappoint them. So.
Tommy, I have a question for you, Tommy. Did you get my book yet from JP?
I think I did, but he brings me a pile of shit every day. Almost.
My book of your house. I photographed your book and did Mikasa.
Yes, I got it. Beautiful.
I did Mikasa. Yeah.
Oh man, it's award winning. That's really nice.
And I have copies for them online. I'll give you the link, and it's not going public till you say so. It's just private. It's ours, and I put all your quotes in there.
Yeah, I saw that. I love that book. Yeah, that's when you say book, I get one or two a day almost, So I had when you described it, then I understood what it was.
Remember, you got in the Uber and you left me with Paris, and I photographed your house because I photographed architecture for 20 years in LA through my mom's industry.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the most professional book I've seen for a long time. I had to look at it a bunch of times. Is that my house?
Keep that on your coffee table. Share it with everybody, and if you want copies, or if you have other friends that want to have me do their place, I'm ready to do.
Great idea. Yeah. I do have a lot of.
It's called Mikasa series, and I will fly down and I will spend 2 hours and make their house into that book.
I'll tell them. Yeah, there's quite a few.
Speaking of other books, I can't see it because I got the screen on, but this is the Hash Marijuana Hemp Museum has a new book out. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see this one. Video settings. I have to turn off my virtual background, I think, to make this work.
In the meantime, while you're doing that, Chris, we lost Vivian from the Hemp Fest. He was not feeling well. Oh, there's a Weed of Wonder.
Yeah, Weed of Wonder. This is from the Hash Marijuana Hemp Museum in Amsterdam and Barcelona. I think you've been to those, Tommy, from what I recall. And anyway, so they get this new book. I'm just giving people the heads up. It's really great. You should take the chance to get it. Nice. Since you can't get Jeff's book about Tommy's house yet.
Well, here it is, Tommy. Here's your book. Here, wait. Since we're having a party here, let's let's share Tommy's book. Here's Tommy's book that I made.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And it's Tommy's Chong book, and I got his office. I mean, this is the inside, and you can see little nooks and crannies. My sister said, "You see the best vignettes, Jeffrey." And look, I got vignettes. There's Tommy's gold, his glass. And my sister, she was coaching me on this book, and she said, go to quotes.com and put Tommy's quotes in there.
Oh, nice.
She said,
I love that book. Yeah.
She said, put Tommy's quotes in there. And then I also got you in Paris.
Yeah.
Aren't those great? And I left the black and whites in there because I studied with Ansel Adams when I was 17 in Yosemite, and I love my black and white.
I just found Ansel Adams book in the thrift store, my favorite thrift store, and I just bought it. It cost me $3.
Hey, his prints go for $150,000 now.
Isn't that amazing?
Yep. And I got to study with him. He's my master. And everybody, we're on Weeds Day. We're so happy to have Tommy, Chris, and Lawrence, who's helping us to realize hemp in America, everybody. So I'm just resetting the room here, everybody. And and so Freedom Leaf, this is a magazine. Skunk Magazine here is a magazine that Vivian is working for right now. He's working with Skunk, and he said that Lawrence, he said that if I talk to his publisher, we can do a story in Skunk on the day, and I'll do all the photography. But this is his HempFest magazine, a book that came out, and this is the revision. And he wanted to say that he was sorry, but he wasn't feeling well, and he couldn't stay with us today. But we love you, Vivian, and thank you for HempFest, Vivian. We love you. Everybody.
Vivian's a guy.
Vivian was on with us earlier. He was the other gentleman.
He's the main host at Seattle Hemp Fest main stage. He is the MC.
Oh.
We met you, Tommy. I met you at Hemp Fest in Seattle. You had the booth, and we were photographing each other. And Vivian is the head honcho of Hemp Fest, and he's our...
Yeah, I was just in Seattle last week. Actually, north of Seattle, doing at the Indian Casino, and I was doing in-store appearances. And then I did a dab show, they had a dab not a contest, but they were just testing a dab testing thing. But I had to stay away from it because when I dab, I have to go lay down somewhere.
Well, I wanted to share with you Vivian's book because he was on earlier, but he had to step out for medical reasons. But there's a movie in here, No Prison for Pot, in the back of his book, and you can find it on hempfest.org, everybody. And we love you, Vivian. Thank you for HempFest, and thank you, Tommy, for everything. Yeah, next time you come up here, I live 2 hours from Seattle. I'll come visit with you. It's really beautiful.
Where are you?
I'm in Port Townsend. I'm in the Olympic Peninsula.
Oh, in Port Townsend. Yeah, well, we were in, what's it called? Where the ferry comes in there.
You're in Bainbridge?
Bainbridge, yeah.
I guess, one of those places. That was nice. I've never been on that part of when I drove from Vancouver to.
Tell JP to find me when you come to the Northwest again. I'll come follow you.
Oh yeah. I'm coming up. I got a lot of in-store stuff going.
Well, Larry will get in touch with you, give you the particulars for the 31st, and if you can make it, great. And I'll be filming.
I'm gonna make I'm gonna bring a friend that has a lot of land in Malibu that wants to grow hemp, and so we'll both be there.
Larry's your man, baby. And so great to hook everybody up and keep this party rolling. Let's end prohibition. Let's while Tommy's still with us, and Willie and all the other celebrities, let's go to the Supreme Court and end prohibition. Okay.
Absolutely.
In our lifetime.
Yes.
I'm going to have a private talk with Biden. I got a connection to Biden, and I'm going to use my connection. Actually, it's through Hunter Biden. I got to know Hunter, so I'm going to have a direct conference with Joe and make sure that we get our weed legalized everywhere.
Tommy, every inch you grow, I'll be there to film you and to be with you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Have a great day. Man. Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Well, gentlemen.
We're talking about an icon of cannabis, huh?
Yeah, well, I didn't know he was going to be here.
I didn't either.
I pulled the trigger, you guys. You know. And Larry,
Lawrence, can we jump a little more into what is happening with your field there? Because I know you're growing the fiber for textile. Are you also like breaking out the cellulose and the hemicellulose for other kinds of uses? Or are you specifically working on the bass fiber this time around?
Well, there's a few things that were going on here with my grow up there. The first and foremost was I realized that hemp isn't going to work unless the farmer can make money. The guy who grows it has to make money. If he doesn't, he ain't going to grow it, and we're not going anywhere. So first, I was like, and we got to grow it. We have to grow it right. For textiles, it's got to be planted at the right time. It's got to be in the right place. It's got to be the right variety. It's got to be planted the right way. All of that had to come together for this to actually work. And fortunately, all of those factors came into play. I was able to get it planted very early, simply because we're in California. I was able to get the right variety from China, fiber variety. And we were able to do it in the densities that it allowed, believe it or not, gentlemen, we got over 100 plants per square yard on some of them.
How many acres do you have?
Not a lot, only about 3.6, because this was like a trial year. I could not ask the farmer to grow for me and then have him not do it right and lose money. So I decided we would do the trial year in order to work out all the kinks, figure out what needs to be done. And then the following year, 2022, I'll contract. And my goal is a minimum of 1,500 acres.
And because you're not doing medicine, they don't have to be 0.03?
No, I mean, we're still running into BS problems with it. We had to get, we're in Kings County, and like we had approached them way back in end of last year, telling them that we wanted to grow. And they're like, oh, well, we need to come out with the form, the registration form. And we're like, okay. So finally, about a week or two before we wanted to plant, they gave us the form. And because of complaints about CBD, they had made that anyone within like 800 feet of wherever you were growing had to sign off and say it was okay for you to grow. So we had to go around to all the neighbors. There was like 15 of them, and get their permission just to grow a field of hemp that has no flower whatsoever on it, just the fiber variety. But
when you say the problem with the CBD, you mean because it flowers and it smells like marijuana to people?
Yeah, I mean,
excuse me, Tommy, for using that word.
You've read those stories here and there where people complained about odor, from it. And, I guess in some places that could probably happen, and it may have happened here, but you get the board of supervisors, they get a little whiff of it, then all of a sudden that gets written into law. You need to get permission. We don't want to. So in the field, even though it's huge, there's zero odor to it. I mean, it doesn't smell like weed at all.
Because there's no flowers.
No flowers on it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't understand. Is it just has a kind of a generic balsamic plant odor?
Right, and when we did actually talk to the neighbors because we needed their permission, that was their number one concern. They're like, "Oh, well, this isn't going to smell, is it?" And I'm like, "No, it's not." And then, within about maybe 6 to 8 weeks after having it in the ground, the neighbors are like, "Oh, there's nothing big deal about this. This is no, you look at it, immediately this is not marijuana. It's not CBD. It's something absolutely different." And we have yet to have any experience of anyone trying to come by and steal a plant.
Yeah, and yet I love the smell. That's one of the things I always loved about going to people's grow rooms and stuff like that. Is that fragrance.
Yeah. When you walk in, I mean, I guess it would be like a grow room in vegetative stage. It's just kind of a plant odor. That's about it. Although the plants are so tall that at 15 to 20 feet, when we walk through the rows, they completely block out the light, and it feels like a bamboo jungle when you walk through it.
One of the things that surprised me walking through hemp fields is that you actually get pretty itchy. The leaves kind of. I don't know if you get
what
that.
happens?
As I walk through, you start to feel itchy because the leaves they have those the little spurs on them or whatever, the fuzz.
Yeah, no. What's interesting in the field where we grew it, at least in some of them, some weeds came up, and one of them was called something like fiddlesticks or something like that. And that has little burrs on it. And the hemp outcompeted them, but because they were there when they were little, it got on. So sometimes when you're picking it up, they'll get on you. And when they get on me, it will cause a little rash for about 2 hours, but that's about it. Then it goes away. But it's not all of the hemp. It's just little parts of it that are near the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that the trichomes are actually just kind of a little fiber that's on throughout the whole plant. But the ones that are in the flower that we talk about as trichomes are resinous trichomes and capitate usually. So it's interesting that people
I was
kind of
there
have
last week, and I was looking at the tops, and I could not find any evidence of it going into flower stage. It still looked like vegetative to me all the way.
And where are the seeds sourced?
I got those from China, and they're kind of general fiber seeds. And here's kind of the problem with them is that if they did go to flower, there's a chance, in fact, actually not a chance, I'm almost certain they'd probably be above 0.3. But since we never go to flower, we never have that problem.
And are you going to make seeds yourself from these plants?
I'm just not the.
You got a flower for that.
Yeah, no, not this group, but I'm in discussion with other people to try to breed it, so we'll have more seed here, and I'll have to buy more from China in the future.
Is there anybody making hemp seeds for business in America?
Yeah, there's one company called Victory Hemp Foods, and they're on the East Coast. And what they're doing is kind of like what Canada does, and that is they buy the seed from farmers, and then they press it for oil, or they'll remove the shell, and then also sell the protein powder.
And do
you grow monoecious? Are these monoecious lines that you give, or do they have males and females?
No, these will have males and females in it. But once again, we get it before any sex expression on either one.
Even before the male's flower, which is
even before the male's flower.
Because I know
even at 20 feet,
if you're releasing pollen into the air.
Yeah, so well, that's the thing. We're keeping our eye on it, and no, I see no male flowers whatsoever either. And then they're going to all get done because once it does begin to get into flower mode, all the energy rises to the flowers and the seeds, and the stalks actually start dying and drying out. And you don't want that for the fiber because it makes it a lot harder to decorticate, and you get a coarser type of fiber.
And I remember the Department of Agriculture used to say that you should cut it like at least an inch above the soil because they said that bottom inch the bark is so tough that it's hard to work with it. You haven't harvested yet, so you wouldn't know.
There's the stalk, you guys.
We've done pre-harvesting. We've been practicing so far. Yeah, that's a really big one right there. I actually have stalks here that we brought back from last week, and they're very tall. So yeah, we have to cut near the bottom, but I would say we're going to have, not only will the fiber be for woven uses like for textiles, but half the business is going to be fiber for non-woven uses. So I will have a market for the thicker fibers, whether it's for insulation, building materials,
plastic,
and things like that.
Plastic and hempcrete for sure.
Yeah. So the idea, no, the hempcrete.
Yeah, but the bast fiber I understand the bast fiber is not that good for the hempcrete because it doesn't absorb enough of the minerals that you have.
No, it wouldn't work. The bast would be for the textiles and insulation, and then the herd fiber would be more for hempcrete and other building materials like the hemp board.
And you're doing press board as well?
Separately, I've made hemp particle board, and I was having that made up in Idaho. And I got a lot of it made. We were ready to move forward with full productions, but then COVID happened. And so that kind of got put on hold.
What is the binder? What is the binder in a hemp press board?
Well, we use a product called isocyanate, which is a more environmental binder because it does not use formaldehyde.
And so does that make it more organic?
I don't know if you call it organic. I mean, it is a chemical binder, but it makes it certainly a lot less toxic.
So it doesn't off-gas for the life of the board.
Right, exactly.
Right, like vinyl does, you know.
Right.
Well, we can't wait to see you next week. I've got my Airbnb in Riverdale, and I'm gonna follow you guys around. I'm so blessed, Larry, that we got Tommy for you. And
yeah, that was really cool. I think, I was thinking that Tommy's had probably every cannabis experience you could possibly have, in terms of smoking, eating, whatever. This one, I can guarantee this is going to be a new cannabis experience.
For Tommy, yeah, for sure. And he
Tommy,
also
for all of you.
Yeah, but guess what? He also said he's got acres in Malibu with a buddy that wants to do it.
Yeah, I think this is going to work. Although I don't know if Malibu is suitable for growing hemp because it's not really farmland. I think it's better for homes or whatever. But, the area where we're at, which is California's Central Valley, is all farmland for hundreds of miles everywhere.
You never know where he's going to grow or go with you. So, Hemp Hooray, everybody. We're on Weeds Day. It's Jeff in the corner here. I'm going to pull myself back into a little bit bigger space here. We're so blessed. We got just about 8 more minutes left on our show here. Larry, tell us a little bit about the history of your operation and the magazine. Chris, do you have any of those fashion magazines we made 25 years ago?
I don't have one with me up here, but I have a number of them I'm planning on sending to you.
Yeah. So anyways, we did our first magazine. We did like 150 hemp clothing product shoot. I photographed most of the clothing, and we printed, correct me if I'm wrong, on hemp paper with hemp ink.
Yes, and well, I don't know about hemp. It might have been soy ink, but it was definitely hemp paper. And I think Ellen Comp did the layouts and so forth.
What was on it? Yeah, that sounds familiar. What did we make that for?
That was in San Luis Obispo. That hemp clothing.
Oh, was it Santa Cruz Hemp Expo or San Luis Obispo Hemp Expo?
It was San Luis Obispo. Those guys in San Luis Obispo. We did the whole photo shoot, and they came from Hawaii and brought us products, and we had that big party.
Oh, yeah, that was Island Hemp.
Island Hemp, and Dee Dee was there, and everybody was there for that shoot. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this business to begin with. Did you meet Jack, or did you?
Actually, the first person I met in this industry was right here, Chris Conrad.
I think it was my assistant, whose name is suddenly escaping me. I'm sorry, but I think you met my assistant at the photocopy shop.
No. What had happened was
that was Alex.
Very, very well. No, I had wanted to get into hemp. I graduated college. I wanted to get into it. And I didn't know where to turn because everywhere I looked, I just couldn't find any hemp products. Nobody knew anything. So I grabbed a copy of The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and I looked on like the back cover, the inside cover near the back, and there was a little ad for the Business Alliance for Commerce and Hemp. And I'm like, that's it, business, that's what I'm looking for. So I called up the number, and I actually talked to Chris at that time. He was the first person I talked to. And coincidentally, I think that week or the following week, you were having the American Hemp Council meeting? Yeah, right. So it was like a meeting of all the hemp groups at his apartment. And I'm like, oh, great. You invited me. I was all excited. I was right out of college. I show up. I have a business suit on. I have my briefcase. And I knock on the door. It opens up. And coincidentally, it was like walking into a Cheech and Chong movie. The door opened up.
In fact, not long after that, we started a policy of people couldn't smoke until at the end of the meeting. That made the meetings a lot more efficient, and people got to the end a lot quicker, or shorter as well. What I was thinking about was the guy who did the hemp revolution. He ran into you at a Photoshop. The guy from Australia.
Yeah, it was a guy from Australia, I think. Paul.
Yeah, his name is Saul now, but he changed his name. But at the time, he had a different name.
Right. I want to say it was Paul.
Anthony.
I don't remember, but yeah, I was at a photocopy shop, and the guy saw me, and he's like, "Oh,
I got that story mixed up. It was you and he was photocopying. You both photocopying, and he walked in, and that's how that movie.
Right. Yeah, I remember. That was really.
I know. So whenever I see the movie, that's why I says, "Thank you, Lawrence Servin, Business Alliance for Commerce and Hemp." I'm like, right on.
Who did Hemp Will Save the Planet, and it had that banner going around and it was all embroidered, and it was on a lot of Chris Boucher's clothing, and that in my opening I had a little sticker of it. Hemp will save.
I think High Times did. You mean the Planet Earth?
Yeah, but there was a
Planet Earth. That was from a High Times cover.
And then it said Hemp will save the planet. Yeah, but we had buttons on it. We had buttons with it and everything. When I flew the Hemp Initiative in '95 up to Sacramento because everybody was too stoned, I walked in with my khakis and my regular outfit, and the lady.
Boy, were your arms tired.
Yeah, and the lady who got the initiative from me, she said thank you, and she said, "Can I have that pin?" And I had a pin of Hemp Will Save the Planet where it had the banner around the world, and she put it on in the elevator as she was taking our hemp initiative up to make hemp legal in America or marijuana.
California, yeah.
Yeah, that was '95. Yeah,
didn't quite work that time, but it was a good effort.
I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have you both on. Any final words, Chris?
I just tell people to come to theleafonline.com and check that out. If you need a marijuana expert witness, you can contact me. I do that kind of work. case@chrisconrad.com is my best email. And, I tell people, you should go to Hemp Traders and pick up their products. Larry is a one in a million kind of a guy, and his products are really top quality.
Oh, thank you, Chris.
Fantastic. And Chris, will we see you on Hemp Day?
Oh, yeah. Unless something happens, I can't necessarily predict, but my plan
I'm going to stay over the night before and then drive down for the 9 o'clock, and I'll interview you there, and I'll have a little microphone.
I might not get to until after the coffee is gone. 9 o'clock.
I would say, as I said, the only thing to prepare for is it does tend to be sunny and warm when you're there.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Good.
You mean so I shouldn't wear my full suit? I shouldn't wear my full hemp suit?
No, have sun protection, have water bottles, and also shoes. Sandals aren't going to cut it. You probably need regular shoes.
I always wear a long sleeve under my short sleeve because my father had melanoma, all the time, and so I'm really careful with my skin. So thank you for telling us all about that. Larry, any final words on where people can reach you?
Basically, I'm available, via my webpage, hemptraders.com, and certainly the email. I answer all the emails that I get, contact@hemptraders.com.
Fantastic. Any final words to the changing of the guard here?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, no, Chris has been in a while. I've been in a while. We're both now considered old timers, but I got to tell you, I am more invigorated this year than I've been in years. I am. This is like the year it finally all came together. So I'm full of youth, full of excitement, and I got another 20 or 30 years in me.
Well, hemp hooray, everybody.
Hemp hooray.
This is our new peace sign.
Thanks for having us on, pal.
This is our new weed sign. It's for weed. And I say 3, 2, 1, everybody. Peace. And F Schedule 1. Nobody deserves to be in jail for a plant. I'm going to share our screen now, everybody, and I'm going to play our outro. Thanks for coming, and Tommy Chong came today, everybody.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Here we go. Okay,
Lawrence,
I'm sharing our.
Jeff.
So Hemp Hooray, load it up. Get a bowl of hemp ice cream, and
okay, now look at me. Yeah, you're doing great. You're doing great. Okay, look at me. Yeah, look at me. Look at the camera. Yeah. Put your.
I'm your host, Jeff Eichen, human rights advocate and social activist fighting for government deregulation of weed and the release of all nonviolent criminals incarcerated for possession of marijuana, moving violations, parking tickets, IRS debt, etc. Here on Weeds Day, we keep the public informed about all things weed related, including festivals and legislation surrounding regulating the growth of hemp. Good morning, ladies and germs. It's Jeff Eichen, and I hope you're not all germied, but that your seeds are germinating, and it is time to plant. We have a great lineup today. We're talking about a hemp party that's going to be happening soon so we can re-legalize hemp marijuana, and our guests today are going to be experts and share with you some magic about what's going to happen this coming week, or the end of the month on the 31st. We have Larry Serban, we have Dan Harrer, we have Vivian McPeak, we have Chris Conrad, and more, Ron Alcalay, and more. So hemp hooray. We need to address cannabis with athletes, and we have an event coming up in March of this coming year that's going to be athletes in cannabis. So I may go there to that show, and we're working on ending prohibition, everybody, and re-legalizing hemp in a major way. And with our guest, Larry Serban, today, he's going to share with you the reasonings. I'm going to show you a hemp stock. We're going to learn many, many things on why nobody should be in jail for a plant. We're so excited to have our guest panel today and to be incredibly gifted with holding space and holding tight and doing our work. So when we're not here, the people behind us, we're going to teach everybody to carry on our mission and our words of wisdom and our goodness, that hemp is a beautiful plant, that God put it here. And I don't know if it's in the Bible, but if it is, give me that that verse, because I think Willie found it. But Willie, come on my show with Tommy. And are you here, Tommy? So we love you all, everybody. Hemp hooray. And don't forget to stay hydrated in your life with water, with good food, and good thoughts to free our prisoners. Jeff Eichen, Hemp hooray. Hemp can save the planet. We did that like 30 years ago with Chris Boucher. And thanks, everybody. It was really fun having Tommy on and Larry. And hemp is being realized on the planet and in California. And we're so proud of our people that are navigating some incredible hemp projects, and it's all in the cannabis space. That's what Tommy taught us today. Keep the language clean and more, I guess, politically correct. Marijuana's a little bit slang, Tommy said. So even though we love our marijuana, let's call it cannabis from here on out when we're talking to our representatives and we're wanting to change the paradigm. So hemp hooray, everybody. I'm so blessed to have you all. And this is Jeff Eichen signing out for WEEDSDAYS. See you next week. Well, maybe. I'm going to be on the airplane next week. Maybe we'll have a replay, or we'll have a maybe a hiatus. I'll let you know, or we'll do the day before. Okay. Love you, everybody. Peace. Weeds Day.